What's up, entrepreneurs and hustlers? Welcome to the channel. Today we're diving headfirst into a topic that's close to my heart. The gritty reality of why startups fail. Look, I'm not here to sugarcoat things. 90% of startups go belly up. That's right, 9 out of 10. But don't tap out yet, because today we're going to break down those brutal statistics. We're talking about the pain points, the pitfalls, the gut punches that send those startups spiraling. Knowledge is power, and today we're arming you with the knowledge to beat the odds. Let's get real, my friends. The number one reason startups crash and burn is simple. They build something nobody wants. You could have the most innovative, game-changing, mind-blowing product in the world, but if there's no market need, you're dead in the water. It's like launching a life raft in the desert. No matter how great your life raft is, it's not solving a problem. And the biggest pain point here, founders fall in love with their idea. They're so passionate, so convinced they've struck gold, that they ignore the market. They don't listen to customer feedback. They skip the validation steps. They're so busy building their dream, they forget to ask if anyone wants to live in it. And that's a recipe for disaster, because if you don't have people lining up to buy what you're selling, you don't have a business. You've got a hobby, a money pit, a one-way ticket to startup graveyard. Harsh? Maybe? True? 100%. So how do you avoid this pitfall? Validate your idea. Talk to your target audience. Do your market research. Don't be afraid to pivot, to adjust, to admit your initial idea might need a little work. Remember, entrepreneurship is a marathon, not a sprint. And the most successful entrepreneurs are the ones who are willing to adapt and evolve. All right, let's talk about another startup killer running out of cash. This one's a heartbreaker because it's often preventable. You see, so many entrepreneurs underestimate the costs. They get that initial funding, they're riding high, but then reality hits. Expenses pile up, sales aren't coming in as fast as projected, and suddenly they're staring at a bank account that's emptier than a motivational speaker's promises. The pain point here is cash flow. You might have a killer product, a solid team, but if you can't manage your money, you're toast. It's like trying to drive a car with no gas. You're not going anywhere. The biggest pitfall? Neglecting the numbers. Look, I get it. Spreadsheets aren't sexy, but they're essential. You need a rock-solid budget. You need to track your spending. You need to know where every single dollar is going. And you need to be realistic about your burn rate. How long can you survive without turning a profit? These are the tough questions you need to ask yourself from day one. Don't be afraid to bootstrap, to get creative with your spending. Remember, every dollar saved is a dollar earned. And when you're lean and mean, you're much more likely to survive the inevitable bumps in the road. Let's talk about teams, baby. The lifeblood of any startup. You can have the best idea in the world, but if you don't have the right team executing it, you're going nowhere. And I'm not just talking about skills here, although those are obviously crucial. I'm talking about culture, about vision, about people who are willing to run through walls for each other. The pain point, building a team that gels, that communicates effectively, that shares the same values. It's like putting together a championship basketball team. You need players who complement each other's strengths, who trust each other, who are all playing for the same goal. And the biggest pitfall, hiring friends and family just because they're friends and family. Look, I love my family, I really do. But that doesn't mean I want to run a business with them. When you're building a company, you need to hire the best people for the job. Period. No exceptions. Building a strong team takes time, it takes effort, and it takes being honest with yourself about your own strengths and weaknesses. Don't be afraid to delegate. Don't be afraid to bring in people who are smarter than you. And most importantly, don't be afraid to let go of people who aren't the right fit, even if they are your cousin's best friend's roommate. All right, entrepreneurs, let's talk about competition, because here's the thing, you're not operating in a vacuum. Every market, every industry, every niche is crowded. And if you're not paying attention to your competitors, you're setting yourself up for a world of hurt. The pain point is simple: ignorance. Too many startups enter the game without truly understanding who they're up against. They haven't done their research. They don't know their competitors' strengths and weaknesses. They're like boxers stepping into the ring blindfolded. And the biggest pitfall? Arrogance. They underestimate their competition. They think their product is so revolutionary, so groundbreaking, that it's going to blow everyone else out of the water. And maybe it is, but probably not. Listen, I'm all for confidence, but confidence without knowledge is a recipe for disaster. You need to know your enemy. You need to study them, understand their strategies, anticipate their moves. Only then can you develop a plan to outmaneuver them, to differentiate yourself, to win. Remember, competition is a good thing. It keeps you sharp, it forces you to innovate, it makes you better. Embrace it, learn from it, and then go out there and crush it. Let's be brutally honest. You can have the best product in the world, but if nobody knows about it, you're going nowhere. And that's where marketing comes in. Because marketing isn't just about slapping up a few Facebook ads and hoping for the best. It's about telling your story, connecting with your audience, building relationships that convert. The pain point? Many startups simply don't have a clue how to market themselves effectively. They don't know how to reach their target audience. They don't know how to craft a compelling message. They're throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping something sticks. And the biggest pitfall? Inconsistency. They try one tactic for a week, then they jump to another. They're all over the place, and as a result, their message is muddled, their brand is weak, and their potential customers are confused. Listen, marketing is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes consistency. You need to define your target audience. You need to craft a clear, concise message that resonates with them, and then you need to deliver that message consistently across all channels. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to try new things, but whatever you do, be consistent, because consistency is what builds trust, and trust is what drives sales. Here's the thing about the business world. It's constantly changing. What worked yesterday might not work today. What works today might not work tomorrow. And if you're not willing to adapt, to evolve, to pivot when necessary, you're going to get left behind. The pain point? Entrepreneurs get attached to their ideas. They fall in love with their original vision. And when the market starts to shift, when the data tells them they need to make a change, they resist. They dig in their heels. They refuse to budge. And the biggest pitfall, they confuse stubbornness with perseverance. Look, perseverance is crucial for any entrepreneur. You're going to face challenges, you're going to hit roadblocks, you're going to want to quit. But there's a difference between pushing through adversity and clinging to a sinking ship. The most successful entrepreneurs are the ones who are agile, who are adaptable, who are willing to change course when necessary. They're constantly learning, they're constantly iterating, they're constantly looking for ways to improve. So be honest with yourself. Are you clinging to an outdated idea? Are you ignoring the market signals? Are you afraid to make a change? Because if you are, you're not doing yourself any favors. Remember, the only constant is change. Embrace it. Look, starting a business is tough. It's a roller coaster ride of highs and lows, of victories and setbacks. But it's also one of the most rewarding things you'll ever do. So go out there, chase your dreams, and build something great. Just remember the pitfalls we talked about today. Do your research, build a solid team, manage your money wisely, and never ever stop adapting, because the world needs what you're building. The world needs your passion, your creativity, your hustle. So go out there and make it happen. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your fellow entrepreneurs. In conclusion, while the startup journey is fraught with challenges, understanding these common pitfalls can help you steer clear of failure. Remember to do your research, be adaptable, and build a strong team. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.